Okay, today's video, we are going to talk about drop shipping businesses. If you haven't seen my previous video about drop shipping, you may want to check that out. For the most part, I said on that previous video, the drop shipping businesses, when you're trying to do PPC, generally don't work. I've had lots and lots of people trying to approach me to have them guarantee results, which is what we normally do at our PPC agency for clients, for their drop shipping based businesses. And we always turn it down because for the most part, drop shipping does not work when you don't have the full margins that other people you're competing against in your space have. So the typical margin, gross profit margin that people have when they're selling products on Google, assuming that they have the products in stock in their own warehouse, is around 40%. Drop shippers try to come in and say, oh, I'll drop ship, I got a 15% margin. How do I get my campaigns to work for me, Corey, so I'm making to where I'm spending 7% or whatever, or 10% of the cost of the product for the advertising? And it doesn't work, particularly as advertising generally doesn't work that good. In the markets it does, you're the only person doing it, not 10 other people selling the same thing. And where drop shipping is available, what most people at least try to go after in drop shipping is stuff where people have publicly available drop shipping options that they're advertising, and that there's more than you just selling it. So if drop shipping is going to work, you got to have something unique that sells, and you got to be the only one selling it because you have too much competition, and because other people are selling what you're selling, other drop shippers, you spend money to advertise to somebody who wasn't aware of your product. And since most people don't buy right away, later on when they do go to buy, they're probably just going to buy, as a happenstance here, buy from somebody else. And the money you spent to educate that person on that item goes to somebody else at the end of the day. In other words, the system's too inefficient. So you got to have something that's unique. And then you got to work with somebody that will drop ship for you, but it's only drop shipping for you. So you got to create your own drop shipping deal from scratch. And there's specific items that you're going to want to do that with that you'll actually have the margins still at the end of the day. After paying for ad spend, you'll still be able to make money. For the most part, again, also the reason why drop shipping doesn't work when you're trying to get Google ads or Facebook ads to get traffic for it and to generate sales is because they expect to just set this up, and the idea is that it makes money. It's a passive income business. If it were that easy, somebody else would have done it already, or the person manufacturing the product would have done it. There is no passive income on the internet. You're going to have to spend money on the time on making the product, money and time selling it, but you're not going to get by with just doing nothing. If you do make money doing nothing, somebody will eventually see it and then they'll copy you. So anyway, at the end of the day, I'm going to explain where this does work, and you can actually run ads and make money after the cost of the ads and with a smaller margin that's available only to drop shippers, okay? For the most part though, 99% of the guys saying that they're making drop shipping work for their businesses are just other scammers that are trying to make you think that, because most people want to make money, but they don't want to do the work. I could tell you definitively how to become a millionaire. It'll take 10 years and you have to work your ass off. Only less than 5% of people are willing to do that. That's why there's rich people, there's poor people in this world. It's not for lack of information, but there's no shortage of people trying to sell you the dream that you can get rich right away and without having to put work in. So, and then they make these claims that they have a drop shipping business that works, so you buy their course or whatever, and they don't even have anything going. Either because they're making more money selling the course, and if they were making money with the drop shipping, they're busy with that, basically, at the end of the day. However, there are technically ways that you could do drop shipping that, though, most people that say they want to do drop shipping aren't going to be wanting and willing to do, because it's actually going to take some damn work. It's not going to be, oh, let me put a few hours of work into this and I've got a passive income business, because that shit doesn't exist. Okay, so what is that? I'm going to tell you what this system is. So if you're trying to do drop shipping, which is a legitimate business model if you're doing it the way that I'm saying you're doing it here, you need traffic to drive sales, right? There's only two main ways that basically you could go about doing this. You're either going to run ads like we're covering here today, in which I'm an ad expert here on YouTube, so I'm going to talk about specifically in detail, or you build an audience, which you are a YouTuber, you build an email subscriber audience that through email and using something like MailChimp. That's still a way to build an audience nowadays. You could have a blog. You spend a few years building up an audience from scratch, and then once you got enough people and they've trusted you enough, generally that takes about 3 years to build up an audience where you can start introducing affiliate offers and get people to buy it because they both trust you, and that you won't alienate people when you, because if you go right out the gate trying to say the first thing you're going to do is sell somebody a product, they're not going to trust you and they're going to get turned off. You got to give value first, build that audience, and then eventually you could start tapping into and exploiting that audience that you've built. So that's going to take a lot of work. That's going to take 3 years of just giving your free time and effort building an audience, and then you could start selling your affiliate products. Or you could take, you could use ads to generate traffic, but it's not going to be a passive income business still. It's going to take ongoing direct effort to make it work. So in either case, you build an audience, you run ads, it's going to take ongoing effort to make it work. It's not a secret to passive income. And both work as you're adding value to the consumer product chain, distribution chain, in that the reason why dropshipping doesn't work the way that most people want it to work, which is to set it and forget it, there's no value, you're not providing any value to the overall consumer market from between that exists to get products from the manufacturer to the end consumer. You don't invent anything. You don't provide anything that isn't already existing to the end consumers out there. If you want to make money, you got to be a part of that distribution chain that consumers benefit by, that they're not getting already if you expect to make money. Because like I said, if you could go and sell a product without putting any effort in, somebody would do it. So what I mean by this is, in trying to sell using paid ads, particularly Google ads, Facebook ads, I put this in the title, is really, I don't know of any way to do it using Facebook ads. At least easily, I'm sure it's possible using the method I'm talking about to structure your dropshipping business, but for the most part, Google is it. But you're going to pick the first, in order to get dropshipping to work, you have to set the foundation right. You're going to pick an item to sell that does not sell well now or at all, preferably on Amazon, as it's too big and it takes a consultative sell in order to sell it. Whoops, I overwrote the text there. But if you're going to buy a car, you're not going to just go to the car dealership and buy without a salesman being there, assuming you couldn't use the internet for research or whatever, right? And you're not going to damn well buy it on Amazon. Otherwise, they would sell it on Amazon. So, but a car doesn't sell on Amazon because it's too big to sell on Amazon. But more importantly, it's not something you look at and from an Amazon description alone, you buy it. The more expensive the product that gets sold, the more likely it is human interaction is going to be necessary at some point in the sales process for the user in order to feel comfortable on who they're buying it from. But once you get over $1,000 in terms of the cost of the product, almost always is it going to take some human interaction to close that sale. And that's where you come in as the drop shipper, going back to the value add, adding your value to the distribution chain for the consumer to get something they're not getting necessarily without you, and then getting a profit because you're providing that little extra information, if you will, and convenience of, getting to know what product I should buy and how to get it efficiently, if you will. And so what I mean by this is, I have a client in the medical machine space, which is a 5-figure product sale, and makes good money getting those products drop shipped. That takes a sales call to close. So what you do, and what he did, is you set up yourself. Let's just say this wasn't his exact market. I can't out his market, otherwise you guys, he'd get pissed at me. But it's a market like a micro needling machine. You know, at a dermatology office, they have a micro needling service where they, you know, for clearing up your skin. You could sell these machines. They don't sell on Amazon very well because you typically aren't going to buy a $20,000 micro needling machine off of a YouTube or a Amazon listing, right? And it's, again, it's a little bit too big to fit in Amazon warehouse as well, and there's shipping costs to get it there. It's not very efficient to sell on Amazon. That's the type of thing what you're looking for. And it sells for over $10,000. So the likelihood that the person is going to buy it without talking to someone first is very low. You set up a website that's dedicated to selling micro needling equipment, okay? From there, like the guy that I was helping manage their ads, you proudly advertise your telephone number saying, if you have any questions at all, call us. We'll help you make the decision on the machine that you want to buy. And you say something almost directly like that, so they know at any time if they have a question about these micro needling machines, which there's not really good information out there on how to buy a micro needling machine, and there often isn't in the medical equipment space, so you could sell another piece of equipment the same way. And then also, as a bonus, you add live chat, but you don't just wait for people to chat with you. You actually use a program that allows you to chat to them proactively. So they get to the page, you could say, hey, I'm a micro needling machine sales expert. If you have any questions about making a micro needling machine equipment purchase, let me know and I'll tell you anything you need to know on making the right decision on what machine's right for you. And you just get them talking. If you get them talking, that stops them in their tracks. That means they're not going to go back to Google. And the more longer you talk to them, the more rapport you're going to build up with them as a result of that, the more likely it is that they're going to buy something from you. So in that situation, you set up your website, you draw people to the site that are typing in buy micro needling machines or micro needling machines for sale. You target keywords like that that you know just by looking at the keyword that this person wants to damn well buy a machine. You get them to your specialized site that looks like you're a big company that sells micro needling machines, and then you specialize in it, and then you hope 2 or 3% will call you or will chat with you a long time if you go that direction, which you damn well should, and then you start making sales. And because you're talking about a $20,000 machine, the smaller margins that exist in the drop shipping world where you're actually getting 10%, 15% margin is already good, because now you're talking about a $2,000 to $3,000 commission instead of a $20 or $30 commission, okay? And with that, you can go to the higher the product price that the product is, the more people need to talk to somebody and get good advice from the vendor in order to buy, the less price sensitive people are going to be, at least at a micro level. So the difference between $20,000 and $22,000 isn't going to be the difference of whether they're going to buy or not. If they've talked to you and they like you and you've helped them, out a lot, ask them about all the reasons why they need to buy this machine and explain the pros and cons of different levels of the machines and stuff that they could buy. The fact that you're 10% higher than the other person that they saw at another website isn't going to stop them from not buying from you, because you added all that value to the customer, when most of these other sellers, they're not going to be talking to them for 30 minutes or an hour on why they should buy this machine over that machine. Because if you call them up, you try it for yourself. Go call these other places. It's probably going to be some secretary that answers the phone that doesn't know shit about micro needling machines. Maybe there is, but even if there is, the fact that you run your ad campaign right and you're only paying $2-3 a click to get them to your site, and therefore it only costs $100 to get a phone call, all you need to do is close like 1 in 10 of these phone calls into a sale, and it's cost you $1,000 to get a customer, but you're making a $3,000 commission on that sale of that product. it's all kosher, it's all good. The numbers work out. So, but more than likely, in a lot of these markets, you'd be surprised on how many people don't have good salespeople directly on staff. And by the way, people like it when they call and you don't get, "Hello, welcome to Microneedling Technologies. For English, press 1. They want to hear somebody get on the phone. They don't need to have you be a huge company. They rather buy from somebody that gets the owner or the sales rep gets on the phone immediately. Ring, ring, ring. Hello, hey, it's Jeff. What can I help you with? Hey, Jeff, I was looking at your machine XYZ, and then you can immediately go into talking at an expert level why they need to buy this machine or some other machine. Because if the other company does offer that, they're not going to be doing that. They're going to be doing that, you know, IVR shit at the beginning of the call, and it's going to be a pain in the ass. You're just going to make yourself the most convenient kind of person to buy from because you have all this knowledge. So going full circle here on what I was talking about before, it's not a passive income business. You actually got to talk to people. You can make good money. You can make 20, 30, 40 grand a month doing this for yourself. Anybody could do it. That could halfway be cordial on the phone and be an expert on a particular machine and then sell it on a specialized website and do what I'm talking, just driving people that want to buy those machines to your website like that. Anybody can make 20 grand a month doing this. But you got to show up every day and you got to take these calls all day long, which you are going to get hammered with calls. You might only get 5 calls a day, but you got to be available for those calls. You got to be able to answer the calls, and good luck getting another person to do it for you, because if you try to do that, it's like the other competitors you have. Now you're just them, and you've taken out the whole thing that makes you unique, in that you're going to give them a real knowledgeable person, not somebody who doesn't give a shit about what they're doing. And the person that can sell it well, they'll want so much salary and so much commission, there's no money left. And then so you're back to square one. But anyway, seeing the guy doing this in the medical equipment space, making 30 grand a month. This is all this guy does. And all we had to do is make his campaign a little bit better to make him a little bit more money, and he is happy. But you could do this selling microneedling machines. You could do home dialysis machines, which sell for 20, 30 grand. You could do this selling office printers, because a lot of them are over $10,000. Act like you just sell printers and you got like this big super store or whatever selling all these machines, and then you just target all the keywords like buy, insert the name of the model of the printer. And then also for the next product, buy, insert the model name of the printer. And then just all day to talk to people about their needs and recommend the right machine for them, and they'll buy from you. So that's the formula for drop shipping that I see, that if there is one that will work, this is the one that will work. And people won't care. The main thing with drop shipping also that makes it suck and it doesn't work is it takes too long to get the product to the customer. It takes an extra day or two, which people are too impatient for that nowadays, mostly. Or you're starting to spend money on ad spend because your margin's so thin. You sell the product, by the time you figure it's out of stock, you wasted money selling it in terms of wasted ad spend. Those problems basically go away once you're selling a $20,000 piece of equipment, because the likelihood that they're going to go out of stock quickly is not as high. And the fact that because they like you and you've built rapport with them on the phone, they're not going to care. It's going to take an extra day or two. This isn't a new tennis racket that they want tomorrow and they want it. That's just how it is. They're going to buy a dialysis machine. If it's going to take 5 days instead of 3, they're going to be accepting of that. I already know because I've seen it for myself already. So, but anyway, all you got to do is find a piece of equipment, like I said, that doesn't sell well on Amazon now because it's too expensive. They don't really need to talk to somebody to buy it. It's probably too big to kind of store there anyway, and where Amazon's warehouses. You go to somebody who sells it now, it has a decently low price, or as cheap as you could find already, and then just contact them and say, hey, I have some customers that want to buy some microneedling equipment. Pretend like you already have a company that's going already, and just say, hey, I would like, if we could sell your models of equipment too, If I sell it, so I don't want to really hold this in stock, would you be willing to ship it to our customers? Once they say yes, you're in business. You don't need a special discount from them. You just need to mark up what they're selling you by 10%, and then that's the price you sell it for on your website. Anybody that's selling a $20,000 machine is not going to be, for the most part, they're not going to have any problem drop shipping for you as long as you're buying it at their retail price. They're just going to be happy that you're selling their shit. Because if they know every time they sell a machine, they're making 3, 4, 5, upwards of 10 grand on it. Make 10 grand every time they sell a machine. You're coming to them and say, all you got to do is just ship it to my customer and I'll make you $10,000 on every sale. Of course they're going to want to do that. Yeah, it gets a little bit hairy when you're asking them, can I get a discount? But you don't need a discount when you're selling a $20,000 machine and you're willing to talk to people on the phone and build the rapport, like I said, because they're not as price sensitive as you think when they're buying a tennis racket. When they can compare a tennis racket versus another tennis racket or from that same tennis racket from other sellers, they are picky about an extra $10, $20. But when you're talking about that $20,000 piece of equipment and then they don't feel comfortable buying it from the other company because they don't get that good feeling talking to the sales rep at that other company, and you provide it for them, they'll pay an extra 2 grand to buy it from you at that point in time. So that's really where the magic comes in. You can't cut that part out or it doesn't work anymore. All the ingredients that aren't all there to make drop shipping work at that point in time. If you bought the machines yourself and you weren't doing drop shipping anymore, maybe you could hire a salesperson and then scale the business more. That might happen. But if you're talking about 10% margins, you're going to have to sell it yourself when there is no margins anymore. Anyway, that's right there, the formula. I've seen it work in the medical supply space. I've heard somebody doing it in the office printer space as well, even though I didn't manage their campaign. Those are markets where this type of thing works that I know already just from personal experience. But again, anything selling 5 figures or more that doesn't sell well on Amazon, if you could become a product expert and do what I said, drive traffic to your site and help people make a decision on what to buy in that market, usually the cost per click to get the traffic to your site is low enough and you'll be able to sell at high enough rate actually talking to people on the phone and helping them that you'll make, the ad traffic won't eat up your margin, so to say. So, and you'll add your value to the market, providing that advice that the competition's not going to provide, or at least the level you're going to provide it at. That said, that's pretty much drop shipping, how to get it to work with ads. And it all stems down to picking the right product. You're not going to make a shit product work with Facebook ads. You get the right product that's expensive and you add your value add, i.e. the phone conversations or chat conversations with that person. There's no reason why anybody can't make this work. Just doing drop shipping, just doing phone sales, you don't even have to touch product. You just have to set up a specialized website and get a Google ad campaign to work. Eventually, you could try Facebook ads, targeting people, depending on what it is that way, maybe. But for the most part, you'll make good money on Google search for just getting the people that are ready to buy. Bing ads would be an addition to that. But just going after the people that are ready to buy the equipment and then talking to them, it's a proven model. So with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I have a ton of other videos on this channel about other money-making strategies. If you want to learn how to make a ton with online advertising, this channel is the channel for you, as I give you my guaranteed working strategies that I use on a daily basis with the 50+ campaigns that I manage on an ongoing basis for clients that are firm, in which we got to guarantee the results. Therefore, it's the most effective information you're going to literally find on YouTube, so you might as well subscribe. I also, by the way, have a blog at guaranteeppc.com/blog where you could find other similar information for myself there. And if you like the channel, you'll love my blog. Has similar quality information there. If you have any questions about anything I covered today, about drop shipping in this manner or otherwise, or about online ads that you're trying to run, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who comments on my channel, usually within a couple days' time. As a final note, if you are looking to get paid advertising to work for your company, this is all I do here. We guarantee results for clients in that if you're making XYZ amount today, you're trying to take it to here, I'll guarantee you get it to there without taking a fee up front. We'll take our fee once you've got more sales on your campaigns. I can't guarantee we can work with everybody, but if you contact me, I'll look at your stuff and I'll estimate how much sales results we can get for you. And so you can't go wrong, and we don't charge anything for the assessment itself. So if you want to know if you can work with the best person possible in terms of this ad strategy, I'll be able to reach out to you or look at your stuff, and at least if it looks like I can help you there, reach out to you and try to work a deal. But that said, guaranteeppc.com, that's where you can reach out to me and let me know of the opportunity. If you have new campaigns to start, sometimes we can help clients there as well. So and we'll estimate what you can make on your campaign before we even begin. That said, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on my next video where we have another great strategy for you there. See you later.